Hi everyone, welcome. I'm Matt Hayho, and I'm delighted to be hosting our Travel Bulletin Weddings and Honeymoon Showcase. We're joined by four great suppliers today, and obviously all you agents in the audience as well. And our suppliers can't wait to update you on all their product and destination news, and fingers crossed, develop some stronger working relationships with you all in the future. So let's meet them. First up, we've got Sylvia, who's the sales manager for Western Southern Europe at Bahia Principe. So lovely to see you, Sylvia. How are you?
Hi, everybody. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here today. So yes, I'm glad to show you briefly a little bit about our products and what we offer for weddings.
Perfect. Well, I'll circle back to you in a couple of minutes, Sylvia. I've just got to introduce everyone else. But thank you for that, and we'll hear more from Sylvia in a second. Next up, we've got Peter Green, who I'm sure a lot of you know, as I can already see down in the comments. And he's the trade trainer at Malta Tourism Authority. So great to see you, Peter. How's life?
I'm all good, thank you, Matt. I'm not gonna lie, I'm used to Simon, but let's see how you do today. It'll be good. It'll be good. I'm interested. So no, but thank you very much for having us, and yeah, looking forward to talking all things Malta.
Brilliant. Yeah. Apologies, guys. Big shoes to fill in terms of Simon's absence. If these suppliers weren't going to have you daydreaming enough, he's in St. Lucia right now, so he's enjoying himself, and I'm attempting to fill those big shoes. So thanks for the high bar there, Peter. I appreciate it.
No pressure. No pressure.
Next up, we've got Deborah from the Belize Tourist Board. Hi, Deborah.
Hi. Good. Well, it's morning for me, or good evening for you guys.
Yes, we're going global today. Deborah is live from Belize, so there's quite a time. She's got nice and early to talk to you all today. So thanks, Deborah, and we look forward to hearing more from you in a little bit. And our final presenter today will be Ian Griffiths, who's the UK manager at the Cook Islands. Hi, Ian.
Kia ora, everybody.
Brilliant. So yeah, we're truly going global today, and each of our presenters will have a live 10-minute presentation. And if you have any questions as they're presenting, we'll circle back around to them at the end. So just use the Q&A function down at the bottom on the little taskbar on Zoom, and yeah, it'll give them time to answer them during or a little later on as well. Of course, each presenter will also be bringing a competition prize at the end of today's training session, and there'll be a question associated with that. So all you have to do is answer the question at www.travelbulletin.co.uk/webinar competition for your chance to win, and they'll reveal those questions at the end of their presentations. And you have until Sunday, 29th of October at 4 p.m. To submit those and be in with a chance. So yeah, we'll also have some other great prizes on offer. So listen carefully to the presentations to boost your odds of winning there. And if everyone's happy, we'll start off with Sylvia from Bahia Principe. So if everyone else could switch off our cameras, and we'll give Sylvia some space to show us her wonderful property. Thank you, Sylvia.
Thank you. Okay, let's start. Second. Here we are. So welcome to Bahia Principe. Today we go a little bit fast through our portfolios of hotels just to have a quick idea of where we are exactly. So we have a total of 23 products Bahia Principe plus the brand new Cayo Levantado resorts. Where are our hotels? We have 4 hotels in Mexico near the Tulum area, 12 hotels in Dominican Republic, 2 of them in La Romana, 7 in Punta Cana, and 3 Bahia Principe in Samana area, plus the Cayo Levantado resort that is in the little islands in the Samana area. We then have 2 hotels in Jamaica, between Montego Bay and Ocho Rios, and then we have 5 hotels in Spain, which is 1 in Mallorca and 4 in Tenerife. Let's see quickly which are our brands. We have Bahia Principe Fantasia hotels, which are Teams hotels. We have 1 in Punta Cana and 1 in the south of Tenerife, which are products 5-star meant for families mainly, with entertainment for everybody, let's say from adults, teenagers, and kids, with very good shows. But even though it seems a very family product, I can say we have had requests for weddings in the castle you see in the picture. We have then the Bahia Principe Grands, which are the 5-star hotels of the Caribbean, which are ideal for any target of clients, can be couples, groups, or families. We then have the 5-star luxury, which are basically similar to the Grands, but with extra services, and many of them are also add-ons only hotels. And we have finally the Bahia Principe Sunlight, which are the 4-star hotels in Mallorca and Tenerife. Let's now go to the great moments at Bahia Principe. We start with the weddings in the Caribbean, for which we see a quick little movie. Okay, so as we have seen in the video, we have a different option in each resort where to have this kind of ceremony, which can be not only weddings, can be renovation of the vows, anniversaries, and any kind of celebration that is being requested. Actually, in Mexico, we also have a chapel to make even religious weddings. In any case, in all the destinations, we have departments in charge of the weddings that helps you all in the full organization of the events. And in case it is a legal wedding, they also help with the bureaucracy of these aspects. In Caribbean, we have 3 packages for the weddings. We are gonna go through them. But apart from these 3 packages, in each one you have the option to personalize with the different details that are provided by our department in charge, both for the decoration as well as the location that you want to choose inside of the resort. Let's start with the joyful package, which is, let's say, the most basic. Each package, as you see, is detailed depending on what is included in the ceremony, in the flower menu, or the professional pictures that are included in a package, as well as the location, wedding dinner, or discount at the spa, and specials for the couple during their stay. The second package is called Beautiful. As you'll see, you will have more details, for example, in the flower menu, or more professional pics, as well as there's an extra cocktail or a private area instead of a semi-private area, more spa discount, etc. So it just depends on the details to which you add the decoration personalization. And the wonderful package, which is the most complete, in which you see you have a pre-wedding dinner and many more extra in each part of the package. We then go to Tenerife. Here, in this case, we only have 2 packages. Same concept, ceremony, wedding dinner, and special for the couple. And the essence is the first package, let's say, which is the most simple, and the unique is the second package in case of Tenerife. For what is concerned couples in general, we also have details for honeymooners, obviously details in the room and discounts during the stay, as well as we offer in all the location romantic dinners, which are not only meant to be for couples, weddings, or honeymooners, but for example, they requested to us many times, even just to propose the marriage to the girlfriend or boyfriend. So this is basically all we can just say in 10 minutes. And we can provide you with the details of all the location that we have as an option in each resort, as well as all the decoration details and the direct contact of the persons in charge for it. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, Sylvia. We did have a little bit more time, so we can have a look at some Q&As now. Jacqueline asked, are there any PDFs available of the package details?
Say again, sorry, because I didn't.
Sorry, I think Jacqueline's asking if there's any PDFs available of the package details.
Yes, actually, I can send you the details of the packages of each one, because there's also details of how many person are included in the package, etc. But also the option of each location, because for example, in Mexico we have different than in Punta Cana or Samana, etc. That's why I said in 10 minutes we couldn't go through all the details, but I can send you the PDF of each destination, so you can even see which are the spot option for the ceremonies.
Perfect. And Marie asks, do customers have a wedding organizer to help with all the legal paperwork that's needed around weddings, especially?
Yeah, that's what I said before. Yes, we have a special department, and in case of legal weddings, we have them to help them in all the cases. And in case of religious weddings, we have the option in Mexico.
Brilliant. And then the last one here from Jeanette, do you deal direct with agents, or is there a preferred supplier for flight inclusive packages?
With travel agents. We do not offer the flight package.
Okay. Perfect. Well, thank you very much,
you.
Sylvia. All that's left is for your competition question. So agents, as a reminder, Sylvia's going to ask a question. If you enter that answer at www.travelbulletin.co.uk/webinar competition, you could win a great prize, which is, Sylvia?
5-night stay in one of the hotels of the Caribbean for 2 packs.
Brilliant. And what's your question then?
My colleague sent you the questions, no?
Yeah, okay. So that's what are the
Sorry.
4 brands of Bahia Principe hotels and resorts. So agents, if you need to watch back on the webinar or anything like that, you might just find the answer to that there. So thanks very much, Sylvia. It was a great presentation. And we'll see you towards the end.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So next up, we have Peter Green, who's the Malta Tourism Authority's trade trainer. So hi again, Peter. It's been almost 10 minutes now. It's a long time no see. How are you?
I'm a lot worse than I was 10 minutes ago. No, now I've got to follow up that amazing prize. That's a difficult one, that is. So yeah, no, I'm all good. I'm all good. Thank you.
Okay, well, we'll put your best foot forward with your presentation, and we'll see you. I'll be back in a few minutes to ask for your prize question and to get the agents involved with the giveaway. So take it away, Peter.
No worries. Thank you. Thank you. Right, let me just get my screen up here for you. Perfect. So you should all be able to see the screen now. Obviously not from a hotel, from the actual country itself. So this is going to be an overall branching reach out to the wonderful world that is Malta and the different experiences that your customers can have when they're out on the archipelago. And it is a very multi-level experience that they can have. So beautiful venues, beautiful settings, beautiful surroundings. Here you can actually see just one example of it, but we'll go through some of the different venues as it is. And obviously, we've got a whole range of beautiful destinations on here today. we are a short haul destination, nice and easy to get access to. So, you know, if you've got anyone who's looking to maybe not go so far away as to things like the Caribbean, etc., then they can obviously come a little bit more closer to home and come to our wonderful destination. So we are year-round. As I say, you know, you've heard me preaching about this before, a year-round destination. And with the Maltese archipelago, the celebration of kind of like a wedding or any sort of special experience, it's a big affair. You know, Maltese weddings as a minimum general will be probably about 100, 150, even up to 200 kind of people. And that's kind of the norm for them. I'm going to experience my first Maltese wedding next year, so I'll keep you updated on how that goes. But obviously for your customers, you know, maybe where they're looking at something maybe a bit more intimate, then we can cater for anything across the board from, you know, 2, 5, 10 people, all the way up to those spectacular affairs of potentially 200, you know, even bigger if you really want to go that large. Depends, I suppose, on how much money they've got to spend on these kind of things. So I've already said that, you know, it is a multifaceted experience across the different islands. So again, you know, Malta itself, on there, you've got these kind of historic venues, you've got these iconic venues, you know, you've got places in like the capital, which we'll come on to. Maybe if they're looking for something a bit more rural, a bit more rustic, you could do somewhere in Gozo potentially, and then, you know, maybe even have your reception in maybe something like a farmhouse or a villa, you know, something a lot more intimate if that's for the smaller kind of clientele. And for someone that really wants that perfect picturesque backdrop, maybe they'll do something over in Camino, you know, with the azure blue waters in the background, or maybe the dramatic cliff tops or the watchtowers. So each one will have different offerings depending on what your client wants to do when they're out there. And there is no limit to this. As I say, we, you know, the DMCs and the people that we work with, they can put on something anywhere that your customers really want to, from the beaches to the historic venues to the cliff tops, you name it, it can be done. So just going to start taking you through some of the different locations that you can have your weddings around. But here's just some of the top reasons why, just as a little summary of why you could maybe choose Malta as the place to go. So as I say, you've obviously got that beautiful scenery, you've got that history, the culture, and the liveliness of the islands. You know, you've got the friendly Maltese population, which you've heard me talk about many times, you know, that year-round destination as well, and the full civil and religious ceremonies, which we'll come on to in a little bit as well. In terms of connectivity, you know, I think during the summer we've got something like 16 airports that we fly from the UK and Ireland. I think in the winter it drops down to 13, so you've still got that ease of access. Even next year, we've got new routes out of Edinburgh and out of Belfast, and there's an exciting new route coming in 2025, which we're very excited for. So more on that another time. So yeah, just to dive into some of these historic venues that you can have these locations at, you know, if you're going to be looking at maybe something like a fortification, you could even have your wedding or ceremony at Fort St. Angelo or Fort Manuel, and you might want to take a note of these slides because you might need them later on. So, you know, these are 500-year-old fortifications built by the Knights of St. John. You've got the ample open space. It is private to your venue. You know, you're not going to have people mulling around at the same time. So maybe somewhere like this, if you're looking for that full iconic ceremony, especially for people that are maybe interested in the history kind of aspect. Maybe even moving into somewhere like Mdina, our old capital. You know, here you've got the bride and groom in the horse-drawn carriage getting pulled through the golden streets of Mdina. You've got a couple of churches, including the main one on the square there. We actually had a private opera ceremony or a private opera showing in that church. And I can tell you right now, it is a beautiful and spectacular church. So, you know, that kind of experience really does stand out for those customers. And then they can stay in something like the boutique property that's in there, especially for, you know, somewhere to relax after their hectic and busy day, maybe dine in Demonde on the Michelin star restaurant there. So, you know, the whole level of luxury matches that day, no matter what they're doing, from the stay, the food, etc., can all be done within Mdina. Maybe they're looking for something that is maybe a little bit more iconic. So actually getting married in Upper Baraka or Lower Baraka Gardens and the saluting battery, you can do that. I haven't got any videos of my presentation today, but what I will do is when I get the list of attendees, I'll send you a video out, which is called our Rise of the Tribe video, which showcases some of the locations for a wedding, and they actually got married in the Upper Baraka Gardens. It is a beautiful ceremony where the actual main sort of religious part during the day was in the actual upper gardens, and then they moved down into the saluting battery just below it for the evening event with fireworks and the Grand Harbor in the background. It was very, very beautiful. So I will send that out to you. If you've got people who are maybe looking for a hotel venue, then obviously we've got a wide range of hotels that cater for anything that you kind of really need. You know, your Hyatts, your Hiltons, your Marriotts. We've got the new Barcello, which is a 5-star in Slima, which just opened a couple of weeks back. You've got your Westin, your Radisson Blu. We're going to have a new Hilton coming in next year that's coming in as well. So again, a full range of luxury 5-star mass properties down to your boutique options as well, something like the Iniala, you know, maybe Tassent, those kind of areas, something a little bit different. So no matter what they're looking for, you're absolutely catered for in Malta. That's the only thing I can say of. And, you know, I can send you links to all these hotels in the slides so you can have a look and see what the options are for them. If you've got customers who are maybe looking at doing something a little bit more external, so maybe staying in a hotel, but then actually having the ceremony, you know, out with the hotel, so a little bit more privacy as well. You know, you've got a range of sort of either 200 to 500 year old halls and villas, which we can see here, something like Palazzo Prezio. Random fact, the Palazzo Prezio has the longest single piece of granite in the entire of the world. I want to say it's the world, as their banister. It's the longest continuous piece of granite. It's quite a long banister. But here is this beautiful opulent hall with the gold gilded rooms. You know, the gentlemen can retire to the, you know, the kind of their room with the snooker tables, and they can smoke and they can drink. The women can retire to the gold gilded room and get ready, and then they come together in the gardens, which are absolutely stunning and beautiful. It really, really is somewhere. And if you've got customers who maybe go out to Malta and they want to have a look at the venue, go along and have an afternoon tea here. The afternoon tea is delightful, and they can use that to kind of see and showcase the venue. Maybe even something like Villa Bigi, which this villa here, again, only about 150 years old. It is a private complex, so you know, again, there's no one going to be around for that. But you can see the dramatic views that you get from the gardens and the really landscaped kind of walls in the background. These walls can be decorated however you want. They can even put projections onto the fortification walls. You know, so if customers maybe want to have something like a slideshow going on, or maybe something coming on later on. Oh, sorry, I think my computer's having a glitch. If they want, you know, maybe some sort of slideshow up onto the fortifications, they can do that as well. So again, multiple different options in terms of the venues and capacities. And moving into some of the churches, you know, this is over on Gozo. This is Tapinu Basilica. Absolute beautiful church. It's known for its pilgrimage routes. It's actually been known for a couple of miracles here if you're into that. So you can get married in somewhere like this as well. Again, an amazing option. You can imagine the backdrop pictures with the hills of Gozo in the background. So again, plenty of different variety for your customers. Somewhere maybe as iconic as Mosta Rotunda, you know, Mosta, I would probably call it like the third city, you know, with its rotunda that a bomb fell through in World War II. Again, it's this iconic building. Again, getting married in here, you can imagine the grandeur that it would be to then have your ceremony here and retire off to another venue in the evening. Or even down in Marsha Schlock, you've got the Church of Our Lady of Pompeii. So this is the fishing villages of the south. This is where that rural, rustic, more authentic charm kind of comes in. So again, a variety of options in terms of some of the different churches. St. Paul's, you know, the sanctuary up in Melilla. You can see that you're not pigeonholed to one section of the island. You can have these ceremonies in every part of the island. So depending on where your customers are staying, if they're staying at the Sea Bank up in the north, they can get married at the sanctuary. If they're staying down in the south in maybe a villa, they can get married in the Church of Pompeii. If they're over on Gozo, they can get married in Tapinu. So again, you're not broken down into, you know, having to travel far around the island. You've got those easy access options. Coming into some of the formalities, these kind of things, marriage registrations, this is more so if you've got people who, the spouses are maybe foreign couple that have come together, you know, someone has resided overseas, they just need a third-party declaration, so almost like a witness to sign that off as well. And, you know, we are a highly Catholic country, we know this, you know, we've got more churches than days of the year, but we can cater for everything within there. You know, if you want to do a Jewish wedding, you can have that at the Malta synagogue, or the hotels will cater for that as well. I know the Phoenicia just did a Jewish wedding of about 600 people a couple of months back. If you've got people who are looking at sort of the Muslim, Hindu, Sikh communities, then there is options on the island within there for that as well. We have got mosques on the island, which they can do for. And within the Catholic side, you name it, it can be done. The Anglican, the Methodist, you can tell I don't do religion. The Greek Orthodox, you name it, it can be absolutely covered. And one of the biggest ones that we are very proud of, and again, you've heard me talk about this time and time and time again, but the LGBT weddings. You know, we are the #1 LGBT destination, and you can absolutely recommend this with a safe option, because, you know, lots of civil weddings a lot of them tend to be kind of like, you know, symbolic ceremonies, and they have to do a lot of the legwork first. In Malta, they can do everything out there, so they can literally fly out, they can do the full religious and recognized ceremony, and then have their honeymoon or the wedding there out there as well. So there's plenty of different options for you guys. As I say, you can see the beautiful view over the Grand Harbor here. But yeah, if you have any questions, you know where I am. I will send that video out to you as well. A lot of these pictures can be found on our through our new training platform. So if you go onto malta-training.com, in there you've got a tab for your image bank. We don't keep any of these back. We're giving them all out to you guys. So please make sure you do that in there. And any wedding bookings you do to Malta, don't forget you've got your Malta rewards program as well. I think I can summon Matthew back now. And
yeah, right on time. So well done there. There was a couple of questions I know you caught. Some people sent them in the first couple of minutes, and you got round to them. Anyone who's asking for a copy of the slides, I imagine all the suppliers will be sending them around afterwards, and you can rewatch the video on the Travel Bulletin website too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So would October be a good month in terms of half term and your top family hotel in Malta? We will have to kind of keep it brief on those two questions.
No worries. October, absolutely. It's currently 28 degrees in Malta. You know, it's warm. Top family hotel. I mean, you've got the Sea Bank, you've got the AX Odyssey, you've got the San Antonio, you've got the Kempinski over on Gozo. It depends on the type of family. If they want the beach, they've got, you know, a couple of options with the Sea Bank and the Odyssey. If they want something a bit more sort of urban, then they've got things like the Malta Marriott. You know, it's going to depend on the family. It's really difficult to do that.
Perfect. And last but not least, your prize and your question.
I always have to write this down because I forget about this every single time. So I've even got my little slip of paper here.
Well done.
So it is, name one of the historic fortifications that can accommodate for the perfect wedding day. And there's 2 correct answers. We're happy with 1. Okay,
perfect. And that prize, that question will win them.
Oh, well, this is the thing. I've got to follow up a trip to the Caribbean now, haven't I? It's a Malta goodie bag. You know, we do like to give away a goodie bag, but it's got some new stuff in it. So we've got quince jams, red onion jams, we've got pumpkin chutneys, we've got some new oil that's come in, some honey, we've got some new candles, which I'm always a big fan of, Maltese wine. Yeah, we love a goodie bag here.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Peter. I'm sure we'll see you right at the end just to say goodbye, but thank you for that. And next up, we've got Deborah from the Belize Tourist Board. Hello again, Deborah. Hopefully the caffeine's kicking in and you're waking up now. But yeah, we're looking forward to hearing all the latest news. So if you wouldn't mind just taking it away.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here good evening for you all. It's a pleasure to be here just to talk a little about Belize and what are some of the trending spots to tie the knot in Belize. So just briefly, I think everybody knows now where Belize is located. We are in Central America. We're also considered as part of the Caribbean. You know, we have these beautiful rainforests and we have the beautiful beaches. We are English speaking, that's our first language. And the temperature is generally it's not very, but it's warm. It's about 80 degrees Fahrenheit or roughly around 27 degrees Celsius. We do have beautiful white sand beaches, the lush tropical rainforests, as I mentioned. And so all of these factors are what makes Belize the perfect destination for weddings and honeymoons. And then, you know, adding to that, we have a myriad of adventures, which includes like, caving, snorkeling, just a lot of really great adventures that's gonna keep the wedding party having fun for days, really. And then of course, the legal process for visitors, it's not complicated, it's very easy. And so I'll get into a few of that. So in terms of Belize, sorry, we have about 10 different airlines, servicing the country. And I know from the UK to get to Belize, the popular options would be, Cancun, if you want to do Cancun through Mexico. There's Tropicair that flies from Cancun to Belize. There's also through Miami, American Airlines services Miami. There's Atlanta, there's Houston, and New York. So, and the flights, for example, from New York, it's seasonal. Now, some of the trending spots for weddings in Belize. This is one of the popular spots. I mean, we have like some very unconventional places for weddings. If you saw the picture earlier, where the couple was in the water. This is taken within our reef, underwater. We do have people that would exchange vows under the underwater. So that has happened. So it's not a fairy tale. So the tropical rainforest, think about one of the things that why people like this is because it's a cool wedding. You have the jungles, you have the beautiful waterfall just cascading in the background, and you can hear the exotic birds, and so it's just really a wonderful place to exchange vows. And of course, there are numerous resorts that are in the area. It's pretty close, so some families even book out the entire resort, and they get to be in nature and of course enjoy all that. Then we have another popular spot, which is the Maya Temple. This actually has been one of the most popular spots, and a lot of people love getting married at the Maya Temple, and the temples are sacred in itself. And some people say they compare it to, the Maya temples have withstood the test of time. So it's symbolic to getting married, hoping that the marriages would withstand the test of time also. And then of course we have island weddings. Belize offers such panoramic views. We have our reef, so from the beach you're able to see or hear the reef. Beautiful, you have that Caribbean breeze blowing. So all of these things add that natural element to making that wedding experience such a beautiful experience. And then of course we have our popular sandbar wedding. That's where a lot of people love to exchange their vows also. It's actually in the waters, as you can see, a little spot, and you can have really beautiful sunsets there. And then when it comes to like the honeymoon, it only makes sense that once you're here already, there are really a lot of great things that you can experience. Like for example, chocolate making. I mean, we all associate chocolate with being romantic, with romance. And so that's one of the experience that couples can do together, learning the art of making chocolate. And that's very popular, like in the Hopkins and Placentia area. And then of course, and a tour like this can be booked through the hotel, or it can be booked directly with the chocolate making companies or any third party. And then of course, we have drumming lessons. This is something fun, learning how to play the traditional Garifuna drumming lessons. There's also immersive cultural experiences where they can learn how to make the traditional Garifuna meals together. It's really an eco cultural tour. And so that's another fun thing to do in the southeast coast, which would be like in the Hopkins area, or if you're staying in Placencia. And then of course we have snorkeling. Snorkeling is it's one of the most popular, I think it's the #1 experience in Belize. It's a must-do tour. We have several spots in Belize where snorkeling is quite popular. There's Silk Keys, there's Moho Key, there's Hulchan Marine Reserve, which is actually the #1 spot, simply because of its location. Most people stay out on the islands, and so it's just like a 15-minute boat ride, roughly, to get out to the Hulchan Marine Reserve and Shark-Ray Alley. So with what I love about Silk Keys or Moho Key, you can actually have a complete, you can arrange a barbecue. Many of these are day trips, so they can have a barbecue and you pretty much are on an island out there, and it makes it really fun. So, and then of course we have sunset cruise. I know it might sound cliche about a sunset cruise, but when you are seeing dolphins and sea turtles and nurse sharks, these things often make appearances. And I always remember my last my most recent, I should say, sunset cruise. It was so beautiful. I mean, we were experiencing the bioluminescent effect. So you saw these things glowing in the water. And then there's little dolphins. You had little dolphins coming up. It's like they knew we were there, and they were just like putting on a show for us. So it's experiences like these that just capture, the people's hearts, and even looking up at the stars, being out there at sea, and it's really romantic. And then of course, couples or families, the bride and groom's family, the wedding party, I should say, they could also enjoy short hikes to what we call nature's swimming pool. This is at the Rion Pools in the Mountain Pine Ridge Forest Reserve. And they could just enjoy a picnic out there. Then, of course, we have horseback riding, which is pretty much speaks for itself. And a lot of the accommodations in the Cayo district, which is this western part of the country, offered this type of experience where, could go horseback ride at sunrise or at sunset. And it's just a really beautiful experience. I mean, I enjoy it so. And then, of course, we now talk about the wedding requirements. And I won't go in details, but it's, as I mentioned, it's very easy. The process, the couple must be in the country for at least minimum of 3 business days prior to applying for their marriage license. People on a cruise trip can also apply for their licenses, to the marriage license, and that can be arranged also. And so we call that express marriage. So these are just some of the options. We here in Belize, weddings can be performed by a senior JP, or sorry, Justice of the Peace. Somebody who has the authority to marry people. And of course, you would need 2 witnesses. There's no residency or requirement or blood test required. For those that have children under age of 18, they would need parental consent for that. Now, when it comes to trade resources, just want to briefly mention that we have 2 important trade resources. We have our Belize Specialist Program, and we have our rewards program. Our Belize Specialist Program, this is the link, and we also have the unbelievable rewards, it actually gives you opportunities to what should I say, earn points. So like when you sell overnight stays, at least a minimum of one overnight stay in Belize, you can absolutely register that booking and earn points. You get 100 points for every overnight stay in Belize. And we have some really beautiful properties on board. A lot of our high-end resorts, we say our most sought after resorts in Belize that you can really accumulate points and really earn those. Now, key takeaways. It's a great destination because we're not overcrowded. Anywhere you go in Belize, there's never an overcrowd. So that if that's a concern, we're a destination that caters to each personality. So maybe a couple, the husband might be a diver, the wife might just want to relax on the beach. And so Belize is set up in a way, the country naturally allows for that sort of arrangement where the husband can go out and at the end of the day, or so in the morning you could be on a Maya temple and in the afternoon you can be out snorkeling. That's how easy it is. We are an eco-friendly destination. A lot of the resorts have these sustainable practices that they adhere to. There's no language barriers, obviously. We're English speaking. We also speak a little bit of Spanish. It's an easy and safe destination to move around. And yeah, currency exchange. We accept US dollars, 2 Belize dollars to 1 US. So you don't need to necessarily change a US dollars. So that concludes my presentation.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Deborah. If you just quickly share your prize and your question before you follow up after the webinar with everyone.
Yes. So I do know that we have a Belize hamper and we have some really nice goodies inside. Yes. So that's what we have to offer.
Brilliant. And your prize question?
To list at least 2 of the most popular areas or trending spots where we have weddings in Belize.
Perfect.
Yes.
So again, everyone, you can rewatch the webinar after the event on the Travel Bulletin website and find your answer there. So moving swiftly on, I would like to invite Ian from Cook Islands Tourism to share more on his destination. Ian, are you there?
Yeah.
Perfect. Well,
There we go.
take it away.
Kia ora, everybody. So we're actually going to start with a video, Matt, which I believe is going to be played, and then I'll present.
I know it is true. 일하러 이때 투문을 또 다우와 비리양아 지하기야 위야 고에 마이네 일하러 이때 말아마 우왕이네 이때 마땅히 데레까 옷대 땅이 기타에 도쿠노 일하러 이때 투문을 또 다우와 비리양아 지하기야 위야 고에 마이네 일하러 이때 말아마.
Excellent. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me now share the slide. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay, so hopefully you can see the main first slide there. So Kiorana. Kiorana means may you live a fulfilled life. And we believe in the Cook Islands that anyone that's reached our shores has lived a fulfilled life. So it's as simple as that.
Sorry, not to butt in. I think we're having a bit of a problem with the screen share. I'm not sure. I
Okay,
certainly can't see it. I think a couple of the agents are missing it as well.
right, tell you what. Can you see that better?
Perfect. Yeah, I've got that.
Okay, I'll work from this one. So so Kiorana, so you heard me, but you just didn't see me. So you should therefore be seeing a map now of the Pacific. And Cook Islands, we are a Pacific destination, so about as far as you can get to get married or take your honeymoon. And what that does mean is don't think of us in isolation. Think of us as part of a bigger itinerary. So maybe get married in New Zealand or get married in Australia or get married with us and then continue the honeymoon over to one of the other destinations we're linked to. Currently, with our airline operations, we have double daily flights to Auckland, New Zealand with Air New Zealand, and then additional flights with Jetstar. We have 4 flights a week as of April next year between Sydney, Australia, and Cook Islands. And we also have 1 flight a week between the Hawaiian Islands with Hawaiian Airlines straight up to Honolulu, and then up to 3 flights a week to our near neighbour Tahiti. So we're the other side of the world, but actually we're pretty accessible once you're down there. If you can look on that map, you'll see that bubble, and that's the 15 islands that make up the Cook Islands. And most visitors coming to our part of the world are actually visiting just 2 of the larger islands. That's the first island here is the island of Rarotonga. Rarotonga is where the international airport is. You can see it up there on the left-hand side of the picture. And as an island, we just have a circumference of 32 kilometers or 20 miles around. So just one continuous road all the way around Rarotonga. So if you were to start at the airport, drive all the way around without stopping, you'd be back where you started 45 minutes later if you followed all the speed limits. So it's an easy island to explore. Once you're there, you're there. That's the beauty of coming into Rarotonga. We are a home to a population in Rarotonga of just 10,000 people, 15,000 in total in the Cook Islands. And we have a variety of accommodation, but none of it is labelled. We don't have Sheratons, Marriotts, Hiltons. Everything is owner operated. And the only 2 badges you'll see on any of our hotels is small luxury hotels of the world. So whilst we are owner operated products, it does mean that we're still very high standards, but still with that friendly approach and friendly service delivery. Anything above 20 hotels in the 20 rooms, in the Cooks is what we'll class as a large hotel. So everything's pretty small. I mentioned we have the no international hotel chains, but we also have no food restaurants, no McDonald's, no Burger Kings, no Irish pubs. I mean, there's a missed opportunity if ever there was one. So people come to us for what we don't have as much as what we do have. They like that uncommercialized feel of the destination. We build nothing higher than the highest coconut tree. So that's about 3 stories high. And we also, with that one road around the island, we only have 1 roundabout and no traffic lights. You just don't need them. I did see someone earlier wrote a question about the buses. We do have buses going around the island. 1 goes around the island clockwise, 1 goes around the island anti-clockwise. So 2 an hour are our bus services. Moving further to the other islands, we are 15 islands in total, but most people fly up to the island of Aitutaki. And this Cook Island warrior here in the picture is stood in front of our domestic airline, Air Rarotonga, who operate the flights between all of our other islands. And this is what you're going to get to when you're in the island of Aitutaki. We say it's the world's largest swimming pool. It's about 45 kilometres all the way around, or about 30 miles in circumference, about 5 meters inside the lagoon, about 5,000 on the outside. So that's why you're getting that huge contrast in the blues there, the kind of vibrant turquoise of the lagoon, and then the deeper, darker blue of the Pacific. Just home to 1,200 people, the island of Aitutaki, and we have about 100 hotel bedrooms up there. So as you can imagine, demand is quite high, and it's always worked well to perhaps get married in Rarotonga and then come up to Aitutaki for the honeymoon. And this is what it's about. This is the lagoon. That actually sandbank is actually called Honeymoon Island, so we can actually do honeymoons, weddings on the island. The celebrant will go out into the lagoon and people can celebrate their special day out on that sandbank. But getting married in the Cooks, it's very easy. Just 3 days, working days, we need people residency. So you arrive on a Monday, you leave. You arrive on a Monday, and you can get married on a Wednesday. If you arrive on a Monday and you want to get married on the Monday, it is doable. We just need all that paperwork way in advance to fast track it through. And weddings take place any day of the week except Sunday, and they are any time of the day as well, again dependent on the celebrant, but anything from 6 o'clock in the morning through to evening. So sunrise weddings are very popular, that new dawn together, or sunset weddings are also popular just because it's much cooler in that part of the day to get married. And you can literally get married anywhere. There's no restriction. We offer beach weddings throughout the islands. We have, as in a lot of destinations, expect the couple to be underneath a roof. And that arch is, so that's why you see them in many places, that constitutes a roof to make it a legal service. All the services are in English, that is an official language in the Cooks, but you can also have the traditional Cook Island Maori service also. We have the private islands as well. Around our reef system, we have many islands. You can see a couple in the back there. So you can get married on those islands. There's no restriction. The only difficulty or the challenge is sometimes getting to them, especially if you have a large wedding party. But sometimes people have the wedding on the main island, and then would go to one of the smaller islands and just be on their own island for the night. It's actually very common for people to do that in the Cooks. Sunset weddings, we mentioned, they are the most popular time of day. Anything from about 4:30 onwards, sunset is about 6. And I mentioned the reason it is because it's cooler, and it's also because you don't have to get up too early and get everything ready. We are a Christian country, 95% Christian, and so we do have the big churches. We have 5 of these coral limestone churches in Rarotonga, and again you can have religious weddings as well. We also have Catholic churches on the island of Rarotonga only, so Christian church weddings are a possibility. You can come any time of year to the Cooks. Our weather's pretty good. We don't have extreme temperatures. We don't have anything really below 20 or above 30. We do get rain. We are a tropical island, so just be aware that there may be a shower wedding, after the wedding, unfortunately sometimes during the wedding, but it won't be raining the duration of the day, and certainly the experience there. We just get short bursts of rain throughout the year. Most British people are coming and they're getting married with us between November and April, because that's the best time of the year to explore the rest of the region, New Zealand, Australia, so on. And easy to enter the Cooks, 6 months validity on your passport, a return airline ticket. We love our visitors, but we want to make sure they head off as well and tell everybody else about the Cook Islands. Don't need a visa for any nationality, but bear in mind you have to have entered the USA, Australia or New Zealand first before reaching the Cooks. And our thinking is if they'll check people's passports, then everyone's fine for us. So you do need to make sure that you're meeting their criteria as well as our simple entry criteria. And then finally, we do need pre-booked accommodation. You can't just turn up in the Cook Islands without accommodation. You will be asked at immigration, so just show them somewhere that you're staying, which is great for you as travel agents, because often clients will say, we'll do the New Zealand bit, or we'll leave that for you to do because that's complicated, but actually the Cook Islands is easy, so we can do that. But make sure you get that part of the booking as well. And that's it, Meitaki, thank you. I have on the chat system put some links to our wedding brochures, and I'll follow those up with emails as well. But if there's any questions, please let me know.
Perfect. We definitely have one from Peter, who's asking if you can go on a fam trip exchange. You can visit Malta and he'll come out there to the Cook Islands. On a slightly more serious note, we've got Marie asking if there's a limit on the number of guests for a wedding in the Cook Islands.
No, so we're under 4 hours from New Zealand, so our New Zealand market will bring in guests of 100 plus. So they tend to have quite large weddings. British, most of the weddings I've seen from the UK are just the couple going. Maybe if they've got young kids, they'll bring the kids, but most British ones are certainly under 10 people coming in. It's a long way. So if you don't really want your friends and family to join, there's another great place to consider.
Perfect. And then our final prize giveaway, if you could let us know what your prize is and the question that agents will have to ask to be in with a chance.
Sure. So we're giving, because it's coming up to Christmas, £100 Love to Shop voucher, and the question is, name one of the 4 international gateways that you can fly into to reach the Cook Islands, or fly from to reach the Cook Islands. And I did surprisingly remember to mention all 4 in the presentation.
Well done, well done. That's all we can ask of you. So yeah, agents, a little reminder, if you're watching this live or on our website on demand, you have to get your answers in by Sunday, the 29th of October. And you could be £100 better off as well as a Caribbean stay and goodie bags and more. So if I could get all our suppliers to just turn back on and say goodbye to everyone. Perfect. Thanks very much, guys.
And I have to say, it's not fair, Peter, asking to do an exchange, because he knows I'm going to Malta on Saturday. So
perfect. So from all of us here at Travel Bulletin and from our suppliers, thank you very much, agents. I think we had about 50 of you at one point, so that was brilliant. Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend when we get there, Already feels like we're there. But thank you very much, everyone. And yeah, we'll say goodbye now. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.